Hopefully we got some older guys. I'm year 5. We got a lot of year 6 guys. We played in big games before. Big Ten championship last year, bowl game against Tennessee. Played at Ohio State. So any of those big games that the media tries to sell, we've had our fair share. So we just treat it like one of those.
This time last year, along him, is there a different approach this year?
Yeah, he definitely had a big jump from last year to this year. I think 20 for 26 last week or something like that. Got some big receivers, some talented offensive guys there that he's got for his in his tool belt. We're just going to try to make it as difficult as we possibly can. Put pressure on him, hit him as many times as we possibly can. We've got some more tape on him, see what he likes to do, and use that to our advantage.
Last year the defense played pretty well in the game. What went right at Jack Trice Stadium?
I thought I played pretty bad. Nick was pretty young too. If you say that was well, then we'll take it. But yeah, we definitely have room for improvement there. So happy that you guys thought it was a pretty good game.
Castro build.
Yeah, Castro.
You've been on the winning side of this rivalry quite a few times, and you've also been on the losing side once. How much motivation is it to be on the winning side one more time?
Yeah, just last year I want to keep the trophy in Iowa City, and get to brag for the rest of my life because I won't have to play them again. Leave that to Carson and Jaden Harrell. I might be a little aggressive in the media after because I don't got to back it up anymore. But I guess that's the cool part.
So find you after the game if you win.
Yeah.
Is this the type of game where past guys either from before after like a Jack they want you to win this game, right?
Yeah.
Pride of the Hawks or whatever.
Yeah, we understand what it means. I don't think Campbell's a pretty talkative guy in general, so I probably won't get any text messages from him. But yeah, I think guys understand it's an important game. It's a big game, but it's not our first time being in a big game, so we're not changing anything that we do this week. It's we play every week like it's the same. Last week was the Super Bowl versus Illinois State. This week it's Iowa State. Next week it's going to be Troy. They're all pretty big games for us.
Obviously, like you said, every game is you guys take it as the same, but there's always a different feel around Iowa City when you guys are going up against them.
Yeah, there's always a buzz. I'm sure the guys on campus probably take it. They probably get more excited for the game than we do with all the signs and stuff you'll see on social media. But it's Coach Parker, Coach Wallace, they do a pretty good job of keeping everything in-house. We're pretty good at staying focused for what's really important. I feel like that's what makes us different.
What's the key to stopping their offense?
The key to stopping their offense. Listening to Coach Parker. Just trying to get to the quarterback as quick as possible. No big plays, keeping everybody in front of us. I guess that's the key every week. Same answer, what we do every week.
What was the total damage for the donuts on Sunday?
So I went to Dunkin', and apparently I can't get over 24 if I don't call in. So had to go to Dunkin', then I had to go to Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee had some day old ones that were a little bit cheaper. So, but I gave the Dunkin' to the D line, I gave the day old to the linebackers. They probably didn't even eat any. Got a lot of guys that care about the tempo in there. So.
How many dozen total are we talking?
24 plus 6.
54. I'm definitely
Something like that. I'll just grab them boxes.
Are we talking glazed donuts?
Whatever they got in the box. Dunkin' will give you that variety pack, and then whatever I saw that looked good, I just grabbed it.
Is donuts a Sunday thing every week?
Only when we shut them out to 0.
Okay.
I got that from high school. My girlfriend asked me why I did that, and I didn't know how to respond. I said I always did that. This is a high school thing, yeah.
This is your first time with the donuts? This is your first time buying
No, I think we got them last year, right?
Rutgers, yeah.
Rutgers. What about the Utah score?
That's the
Kent State score? Yeah, I'm getting old, huh?
It's been a while.
I don't remember.
When looking at their receivers and their tight ends, just what stands out about their ability? I mean, it's an experienced group.
Yeah, tight end room's pretty big. Obviously, you can tell they focus on size in there, so they got some big guys in there. Receivers are big too, jump ball guys, big play guys. Obviously, they started the season with a big play down the middle of the field, so obviously that's got to be an emphasis for them. They have the ability to make some explosive plays, and that's what kills defense is explosive plays. So just got to make sure we're good with our eye discipline. Sure there'll be some gadgets, some trick plays. Just doing what we do best, stay disciplined, sound football, boring football.
One, it doesn't give them time to make all the adjustments to see all these things, and then just kind of wearing them out too. That's our goal. They're having to run after the ball, play after play, and do all these things. So if we can get off on the ball quick and get to the line quick, it definitely makes it harder on them.
Reese is the first true freshman from Iowa to score in his opening game since 2006. When did you know? Was there a moment in practice where you thought, okay, this guy is going to be a contributor for us at some point in the season?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's an exact moment, but I think just he's the same person every day. He shows up and he works hard, and he was making those plays in practice, right? He was scoring touchdowns in practice, so it came to no surprise to me, come Saturday to see him score those touchdowns. I think the one when Kate kind of threw it up and Reese went up and grabbed it, that was like, whoa, okay, that was pretty cool. I went down and celebrated with him, but he's been making plays like that all camp, so it was pretty cool to see him go do it on Saturday.
You look at Iowa State defensive line, J.R. Singleton, Dominic Orange, just what stands out about those two, and then perhaps just the front seven in general?
Yeah, just a whole bunch of veteran guys up front, right? You have number 58 and then 95, big guys. They played the position for a couple of years now. They know what they're doing and how to play. It's just going to be a super physical game, and I'm going to try and give them my best, and I know they're going to give me theirs. So I'm super excited. It's always fun to go up and compete with guys like that, right? Really test you and your fundamentals and how you are as a player.
You're obviously not unfamiliar with the game, being a veteran, but is there always an air of excitement of knowing what this game means to, the people around you, whether it's friends, family, or just people you see walking around?
Yeah, being from Iowa, the Iowa State game is always so much fun. It's, one of the biggest rivalries, I think, in football, the interstate rival. It's always fun. I have a lot of respect for that team, and, to come out with a win is always the goal. And, it's going to be a four-quarter battle every single game, and I think that's the most fun part. It makes it a lot more worth it, right? If it was just handed to you, it wouldn't be, meaningful at all, and that's not the case in this game. It's going to be a four-quarter battle, and, we're excited for that.
How'd you feel the offensive line performed in week one?
Yeah, I think we did a lot of good things, and, I think there are definitely some things we can work on and get better at, and, that's just football. We're not going to be perfect, but when you have backs like we do in a super deep room, they're going to make us right, and as long as we can continue to get better, they're going to make us better too, so that's the thing, I just think we have a lot of things to continue to work on still.
What are the positives from Saturday?
Yeah. I think there are a lot of positives, I thought our tempo in the game was a lot better than it was in the past. In practice sometimes we were just working on that. Just coming off the ball. I think it starts with the breaking the huddle, getting to the ball quick, and trying to overwhelm the defense right away. And that's second half we try to do that. Just a lot faster tempo because it makes it harder on them to adjust and do all these things.
Kate mentioned that once you guys got tempos, when things really started to turn around. What were some of the plays or the instances that allowed you guys to gain that tempo on offense?
Yeah, I really just think it's coming out of the huddle. It doesn't even matter what the play is, but if you get to the ball quick and you don't give them time to do anything, and our cadence, that's our biggest advantage, right? Seeing what they're doing, whether we're on 2-on-1, whatever it might be. If we can just see what they're doing and get to the ball quick, then we have so many more things that we can do because we control when we come off the ball. They don't know where we're going to do that, and we control where we're going too. So if we can get those right and get up to the line quick, we're going to be in a good spot.
You mentioned things that you guys want to work on. What are those things you want to work on?
Everything, right? Your fundamentals, I think that's the biggest thing. Inside zone, just hand leverage and, pad leverage, pass pro, just being low and, taking their chest right away. It's, it's never going to be perfect, and it's an imperfect game, right? Never going to be perfect at those things, but I guess it's whoever sucks the least, right? That's the best way to put it, right? It's never going to be perfect, so if you can just
But it wasn't bad for my first start, but I feel like there's always room for improvement.
How do you implement some of those changes in week two?
Just watching film, watching myself, technique, seeing what I could have did better, seeing how I could have got out my break faster, just things like that.
I'm sure you've answered this question already, but how do you feel like you maybe separated yourself to end up being that second starter opposite Jamari?
I would say probably production. Coach Parker preaches a lot about production and then consistency, and I feel like throughout fall camp, I was just being very productive and consistent days and just stacking day upon day, and just going out there and try to be the best player each and every day.
I want to ask you about a couple of Iowa receivers. So first of all, Reese Vanderzee, great game last week. Yeah. What's it like going up against him at practice?
Oh man, it's great. At first, I won't say I didn't know who he was, but he he started making some plays in fall camp, and I'm like, man, who is this kid? And then one day I sat down with him at lunch or something. I was like, hey, where you from? He was like, oh, I'm from where Zach Lupner is from. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And then he just kept making plays. I'm like, man, this kid's gonna be good. So no, it's great going against him. Like, he gives me really great matchups, and he helps me prepare for the week ahead. And hopefully I help him too.
Was there a play that stuck out to you at all during those practices?
Man, there's a couple where he just went up and got him. As you guys can see, he has really good hands. I feel like he has strong hands, and so like anywhere in his vicinity, he's gonna go and grab it.
What was kind of like your first impression of him before you started seeing him make plays?
Man, at first I thought it was a tight end.
Yeah.
He lined up out wide, and I was like, oh, tight end, like alert motion, and he didn't go. And then like some of the guys were like, no, he's a receiver. I was like, hey, he big. He's a big receiver. But no, I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's with us. He's a great receiver, and I can't wait to see him make some more plays.
Another guy you performed on Saturday, Jacob Gill. I don't know if you saw the film, but he got rocked on a couple after he caught the ball. He got rocked. What did it say about him? Just get up, stole the football. Oh
man, Gill's a tough receiver. Not even just getting up and after catching and taking those hits. I don't know if you guys see his blocking. He takes blocking very serious, and a lot of receivers don't do that, but Jacob Gill, he takes that very serious, and I know there's a lot of sayings like you want to get the rock, you got to block. So, but no, he's a tough receiver. I love going against him. He gets me better, like I said, the same with Reese. So hopefully I get him better too, and I love matching up with him in practice.
And he's also new here as well, a transfer from Northwestern. What was kind of your impression of him when he first got here?
So when we first started skill drills, I can tell like he was a little shifty. Then I wanted to see his hands. I'm like, all right, let's see if he can catch. And then he caught everything. So just seeing him at first, I was like, man, I feel like this guy's going to be a big playmaker for us. And so far he is. So hopefully we can continue that.
For you as an Iowa-raised kid to play in this game, and I'm sure you have friends and family back in Pleasant Hill who Iowa State or Iowa, they're on either side of the rivalry.
Yeah, it's a really big thing. You grow up watching the game. My dad went to Iowa State himself, ran track there, so it's a little household rivalry too, so it's a big thing. So just excited to go play in the game.
Well, he's obviously rooting for your success then, but is there trash talk maybe throughout the week? Does he say anything? Obviously he's going to be rooting for you in the game.
A little bit. He'll throw little shots here and there. Just guys I grew up with too that he roots for too, so yeah.
What have you seen from their receivers? The guys got like Jalen Knoll, Jaden Higgins. They have experienced guys in their wide receiving core.
Yeah, they have good athletic guys. They're able to make plays, so we got to try and limit those through our practice and preparation.
What type of challenges do they present based on the film you've seen?
They're just able to make any play, basically, any down, any distance. So just holding those guys to as little as possible.
Have you talked to Abu this week?
I have not. We don't really talk until after the game, so week 3.
For you, what did you see out of yourself in week 1?
Playing a little faster, just getting back to the motion of things. Game speed and practice speed is completely different, so just getting back in the swing of things with week 1 to week 2 jump.
What did Coach Ferentz say to the team when he returned?
He was happy for us for coming out the win, staying together, and just excited for the opportunity. We not dwell for 24 hours, but just be excited for 24 hours and flip the page and get ready for the Cyclones this week.
Is prepping for Iowa State any different this year than it was last year?
We're just trying to focus on ourselves throughout the week, and then you got to win the week Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for when we have practice, so that'll ultimately be the outcome of Saturday.
Quarterback Rocco, obviously, I think it was his second start of his career last year. Now he's got a full season under his belt. I guess, how does that change preparation for you guys? Do you feel like maybe he's earned your respect a little bit more, or like how does that change things for you?
Yeah, he has a lot more experience. Obviously, the jump from year 1 to year 2, it's a big level, big jump you can make. So just from where he's grown, it'll be a really good competition for us.
How has he grown? Like, what have you seen from him? What are the challenges that he presents?
He's been able to make any throw on the field. He's an athletic guy, so just the we just got to stay focused and make the plays out there.
Obviously, a big jump in size and route running ability with those two guys on the other side, Noble and Higgins. What do you kind of see from them that makes them hard to guard? And what do you see on film that you think you can exploit?
They're able to make really any play on the field. They're two athletic guys that can really, their jump ball can go really do anything. Just trying to limit the explosive plays they can have.
Do you kind of expect to, at some point, to go one-on-one with them? Like, or is it just an 11 kind of figure out it's 11-on-11 game?
Oh yeah, it's an 11-on-11 game. It will come down to the little one-on-one, so ultimately just got to go win those.
How are you feeling health-wise?
I feel good, super healthy, so ready to go. Yes, sir.
Full participation in practice
Yep.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been back, so.
Cool.
Keep each other motivated?
I mean, I wouldn't really say competition, but there is a drive that we have that we want to do good. So if somebody makes a play, you will want to make a play too. So just that drive really makes all the running backs compete.
Thank you.
Obviously, the South game, that brings a different energy out of all the games in the schedule. And then being at home also brings a different energy. So how do you expect this game to be with the South game at home for us?
We really just taking it as another game in the schedule. And, you know, just each practice trying to keen in on the details, as I said, and just take it day by day and just look into it as another game that we could do our best in.
What was it like for you kind of reviewing the film from last week, especially, I mean, obviously the second half seemed like your physicality was maybe more so there, the offense was kind of flowing, but kind of take me through your evaluation from Saturday.
It just really showed us, like, after halftime, keen in on what we need to do and all the extra things that we can do to make big plays happen. And when we went back in halftime and discussed that, it showed, obviously.
Did you feel like that last drive of the first half is kind of what really changed the momentum for you guys? Like, okay, we can actually get some stuff going. We're feeling good going in the locker room.
Yeah, definitely. That's really what we're trying to have, like momentum. Really was what it is, and just trying to fire off fast off the ball and just doing the little things. That's what we felt will really create momentum.
Looking at the new offense, how did it help create running lanes for you guys on Saturday?
The offense, because there's so many motions and stuff, it could get the defense out of line and open up really any gap for you. So I feel like all the motioning and all those things is a better way for us to get through runs.
Thank you. What was Kirk's message? You know, obviously he wasn't on the sideline on Saturday, but getting back in that kind of that first meeting, what was his kind of message to you guys as a team?
Really, he just, like, even from the start, he just told us it's another game with or without him, and he was there with us all week, just preaching to us to stay focused. And like I said, it's just another game, and just keen in on everything we need to do, and we'll be ready.
Okay, he said that. Did it actually feel like just another game without him on the sidelines?
I mean, obviously not, because KF on the sideline, that has a good impact. But Coach Wallace was definitely fulfilled his role, what he had to do, and he was also a great motivator for us in the game. So,
being from out of state, what have you kind of learned about the Iowa State rivalry?
You can say that again?
Yeah, so being from out of state, what have you kind of learned about the Iowa State rivalry?
Well, I really learned that, you know, they take it serious here in Iowa, and just how passionate everybody is about it, and I really learned to soak that in because, you know, I'm Iowa football now too, so I just love the passion and how all the fans enjoy it.
How do you guys look at the overall body of work of that offense, your offense in the first game? And obviously between every game there's improvement. There's usually a big improvement between 1 and 2. How much better can this offense kind of get as we move forward?
I feel like it was a good step for us to see what we can't do and also what we can do. So we just take that and just keep going forward and just trying to get better from that.
Does it give you guys a little positive confidence knowing that, boy, it's there and it can even get better than that?
Oh yeah, yes sir. It definitely gives us a little boost in energy. So, and it also shows us if we just keep sticking to it, we could be better.
On the flip side of things, are there glaring things that you guys have seen in film that, boy, if we did this or if we did that, it could have been even better?
Oh yeah, well that's obvious with football. You always gonna miss some things, but it's always how you go back and look at the film and see how you get better from it.
Mark, I was curious. Tim Lester mentioned Aaron Jones as, you know, a guy that in Green Bay did certain things like running the outside zone play. Did he show you any Packers film over the course of, say, fall camp and see how you could fit into that role? Yeah, we seen all types of camp or film from Packers, 49ers, all those teams that really do the Y zone very well. We try to watch that to you feel me, mimic them.
Game being what it is, just the excitement level of someone there.
Yeah, I mean, certainly they're a great opponent, you know, and every year we know they're going to
bring their best. So it's just exciting to be able to play them one more time.
Just as an Iowa kid, what does this game mean to you? You know, friends and family. I'm sure back home. You know, maybe house divided.
No, we grew up as mainly Hawk fans.
Okay.
Both my parents went here to law school, so I always grew up a Hawk fan. So to me, it's just trying to represent the Hawkeyes. Putting together a good battle against Iowa State. I know that a lot of the state's divided, but we're just trying to go out there and compete.
What have you seen, or how have you seen kind of X grow over these last few years?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he's just, every day he's gotten better. I think you can see he's just developed over the years, and he's gotten a lot smarter. He's gotten bigger, faster, stronger. That's kind of a given in this program, but the mental side of the game for him has really grown.
So kind of along those lines, what have you seen from TJ over the last year or so?
From TJ, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less the same thing. As a young guy, kind of getting thrown out there, thrown into the fire, not know much on the mental side, but then he's, just grown as well, mentally. And, just physically, he's gotten faster and stronger, and I think that's helped him a lot too out there.
Getting that starting left corner job for TJ, I know it was a battle between him and John and Deshaun. What did you see, like maybe from him in terms of elevating to earning that starting job?
I think TJ had a really good camp. He had a great off season and was just consistent during camp, and he's just going out there trying to do his job. And I think he had a great first week.
What was it to walk out there as a team captain?
Yeah, I mean it's an honor really, just to be voted by your teammates and peers, and just trying to represent the team and be a good teammate.
This is your third Cyhawk game as a starter, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
What have you learned from playing them? Like what does it take?
You just have to respect what it takes to win against them, because they're going to be ready to go, and they've always come prepared. Whether it's here or there, and they're always going to bring their best fight. So I think for us that's the big thing, is we got to be ready to go too.
Because their passing game comes in with a lot of height. I mean, they're good. They have good receivers. So what does that challenge?
Yeah,
mean
they've
for you
got
guys?
like you said, they got great receivers and a good quarterback, and then what helps too is their run game kind of sets up the pass too, because you got to respect the run as well, and so it's going to be a challenge for us, and we just got to come ready to play.
With Rocco, he's obviously more experienced, having a full season of playing at starting quarterback. How does that make things different this time around?
Yeah, I think that helps, any starting quarterback, have experience, especially when you're playing against us, 2 years, last year was his first start seeing us, but I think it'll help him, and so we know that, we're aware of that, and we respect that, and so he's just a great quarterback, and we're excited to play him.
What makes him a great quarterback?
I think his composure, I would say, out there, he's pretty consistent, and he does a good job of getting his wide receivers and playmakers the ball. So
they have a new offensive coordinator. Has anything changed from last year that you can tell, or is it pretty much the same system?
I think under Coach Campbell, I think they've have somewhat of the same identity. I don't know if there's been a whole lot that's changed, but again, we just kind of have to be ready for anything, because they could really come out and run anything too. So.
He makes really good decisions. He just doesn't mess up. I mean, he can go win you a game. He can do a lot of really good things. He's really capable of throwing. He's really capable of running the ball. Just making great reads, gets everybody lined up. He's what you want in a quarterback. Like he's a good player. So I think that he presents a lot of challenges in that way.
When Jay saw that, when you guys were watching film and Jay saw his hold, what did he say?
No comment.
What do you think? It seemed like it was a questionable call.
That's just, at the end of the day, that's just what they called, and we just got to keep on working. We just got to keep on working. Play the next down.
At what point, during the preseason, did you realize Reese, as a true freshman, could have this type of impact?
When I first saw him, I just literally saw his body type, and I was like, this kind of reminds me of Torrey. I just saw him punt for the first time, and I was like, wow.
Did you mean the other I meant Reese Vanders.
Oh, my bad.
Well, you can go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead about Jacob if you want.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Okay, so you're talking about Vandersea, my bad.
You can finish the answer on
Yeah, I feel like I got you on Dakin. But Reese, yeah, I think that was kind of, a little bit like a little under the cover kind of thing from this this offseason. We kind of all knew he was come out there and he's competing, and he's just one of those guys that was ascending all fall camp. You know what I mean? So just like every week he's making more and more plays, and then he gets out to the game day, and it wasn't really a surprise to anybody. We knew like what he was capable of, and everybody trusted him, and he's got the frame and body, and he's just a competitor, and I really admire him, and I think that, you know, just being a true freshman in that first game, that's not an easy thing to do. And he came out, he competed, he did his thing, and I was really proud of him.
What's his personality?
He's kind of just more like laid back, reserved. Just he's about the work. I mean, he fits in this culture really good. The guys love him. We're all standing behind him. We know he's a true freshman, but he kind of just has a veteran personality.
While we're on the topic of offense, you being a defensive player, watching from the side, what did you see from the offense in the first half, and what did you see from the offense in the second half? What did you see that was different? There was definitely a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that just in the first half, I mean, it was just a new scheme, new offense, new everything. So, I mean, it took a little bit of adjusting. It was like their first time probably going against a new scheme other than us. So, you know, but once they got out there in the second half and made their adjustments, and those guys came out and competed. I mean, there's no shock. They've been doing great all camp. They've been doing great like this whole offseason, the way they prepare, the way they compete. I'm really thankful for those guys. Those guys over there, they've been busting their tails, you know. So it's good to see from them, and just to see it all come to fruition in that second half.
Is that a confidence booster for not just the offense, but the entire team as a whole to have just a game like that on offense?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think momentum's a real thing, and I think that just like the carryover effect. But I think that they also know that just like what you did last week doesn't matter for this week, and I think that that's just this thing with the defense, the offense, everybody. So I know that they just think that they have to come out there and keep on reproving themselves and act like that they never arrived.
Anything in particular that was really satisfying about seeing that success for Cade McNamara, knowing all that he had gone through with health and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely super cool to see Cade out there. I mean, everything he had gone through, I mean, the work, he's a leader on this team. Just like me and him have had lots of great conversations, just long talks just about life and stuff like that. Just, you know, being 6 years and stuff, just been around here for a while. But it's just been really cool just to see how Cade just came back and battled. I mean, after the first half, and then came back in the second half and just lit it up. So I mean, I'm just happy for him, and I definitely think that just like moving forward, that's Cade.
You've played in rivalry games at Virginia. What did you learn last year about how Iowa State compares to Virginia and Valtech and rivalry games like that?
Yeah, I mean, they're all competitive. I mean, a rivalry game is a rivalry game, whether it's middle school, high school, college, pros. I mean, it's everyone's best. Everyone's got emotions hyped up, and that's one heck of a football team over there. So, I mean, we just definitely know that we're going to get their best, and, I mean, just we have to be ready. You know what I mean? We just have to be ready.
What ones did you grow up following and rooting for as a kid, rivalry games?
So my dad went to Virginia, so I kind of grew up with that rivalry, you know, so that Virginia Tech rivalry. So, yeah.
This time last year, Rocco backed it only started 1 game. Is there a different approach this year, just having more film on him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, every time, this time last year was my second time in this defense too. So I think that it's one of those things where it's like, you know how much you can grow. It's like with more reps and stuff like that. And obviously last year he came out and he played at one heck of a game. I mean, he presented a lot of challenges, did a lot of great stuff. But, I mean, this year, I mean, you can see from last year's film, just like even how as good as he played against us last year, he still grew week to week last year too. So we know after this first game, we watched him light it up. So, I mean, we know that what he's capable of. We know he's one heck of a football player. We have the utmost respect for him. So, yeah, we know that he presents a lot of challenges.
What type of challenges do the receivers present?
Oh, man, those guys are good. Those guys are fast, crisp, route runners. Lanky, you know, I mean, make plays. So, I mean, just those guys are special. So, they present a lot of challenges. I mean, the whole offense in general, those guys are, I mean, there's nothing light about their offense. There's no real weak spot and nothing like that. So, we know that we have to come out and we have to bring it.